everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Sinnott, audio engineer and audiologist with Tuned. We are doing things a little bit differently today. We are on location in central New York, so please excuse lawnmowers or clouds rolling by, but we're also looking at today's product without really knowing much about them. They're the Ultimate Ears FITS True Wireless Earphones, and I usually do a lot of research before filming, but I thought it'd be fun to not do that and kind of go in blind and have as little bias as possible. As audiologists, we know that ear canals and pinna come in beautifully different shapes and sizes. And just like earplugs, an earphone can't really ever be one size fits all. There are many, many people who cannot for the life of them find an earphone that's comfortable in their ear or even just stays in their ear. What's cool about the Ultimate Ears Fits is that apparently when exposed to light, they will custom mold to your ear. No ear impression needed. I have seen thousands of music industry professionals to fit them with custom hearing protection and in-ear monitors. And I do like that they end up getting comprehensive hearing healthcare when they come in just for impressions. But it is person-centered to be able to find an earphone that stays in their ear at an affordable price point and that doesn't require them to have to see an audiologist for ear impressions. Now, safety is my number one concern, obviously, so we're going to be paying most attention to that. But then secondarily is fit. For me, a typical difficult to fit patient might be a vocalist who comes in. They're obviously moving their jaw a lot and their seal's breaking in their hearing protection or their in-ear monitors. So I'm a little obsessed with fit. I'm so curious to see, are they going to recommend a moving jaw, a bite block, or what? I did actually start filming a week ago, but after about an hour of troubleshooting, I realized that the case was broken. Great, plug the case into a power source. Okay, hold on. So I had an experience with their customer service team. It was a little difficult to get somebody to respond, but once I did, and I'd request doing it all, chatting with them and emailing them. There's no phone number that you can call. Once I did reach somebody, they shipped me a new case right away. They asked me to ship the old case back so they could troubleshoot it and figure out what was going on. Cool, let's check it out. So I've actually sort of done this before. I'm gonna open this up and peel back the film again. Place the earbuds in the case with the lid open to get started. Select UE FITS to begin pairing. Pair your earbuds. Okay. Connected. Now let's get to the fun part. All right. Try them on. Well, they don't feel secure, but they're in as deeply as they're going to be in. Next. Get ready. We'll do a quick sound test to ensure a sound isolating fit. There's a massive occlusion effect right now. Share some tips. 60-second molding magic starts. Let's do this. Try standing in front of a mirror for this part. Well, I don't have a mirror, but I have the camera. How's the bass? Don't hear any bass. I don't hear any bass. During the molding process, the tips will feel warm as they mold to your ears. Starting soon. Hold the earbuds in place the entire time. Okay. Doesn't say anything about moving my jaw, so I won't. They're getting warm. That could be an emotional response. Okay. Are they lighting up? It says something about they're lighting up. I don't know if you can see it because we're shooting in the daylight. You can relax. Don't worry. You're doing great. Congratulations, your earbuds are molded to your ears. How do they feel? I'm not sure. Okay, it says we're going to check your fit. I can tell you right now they don't feel that secure, but I'm also comparing that to custom silicone earplugs and in-ear monitors. So my reference is probably a little bit skewed. I'm used to a very tight fit and a great seal. Occlusion effect is pretty intense. Without measuring it, I bet it's up there like 12 dB or something. They're very comfortable. They really don't look like they've changed at all. So it'll be interesting to compare what they looked like before to now. But again, they don't look any different. And before the molding process happened, my right ear felt a little loose and it still feels a little loose. I wanted to update you guys because my fit wasn't that great. Ultimate Ears sent me a smaller sized ear tip and I did the ear molding process a second time. This time I did hear the music that was playing. The first time I heard no music. And this is actually important because what you're supposed to do is wiggle the ear tips around until you hear the bass. And when I did this, I held them in a sort of awkward position, but I could hear definitely down below 100 hertz. And I kept these second ear tips in that position during the molding process. The fit was slightly better, still not mind-blowing, but I wanted to mention it so that you make sure you tell your patients that it's important to be able to hear the music during the molding process. Basically, we have a bunch of different equalizer settings, nothing we haven't seen before. It defaults to the Ultimate Ears signature. We can customize. We have a variety of options for equalizing bass, mids, and treble. It's a nice interface. It doesn't tell us how many dB, but most don't. So that's nice. And then up here we have our settings. We have our tap controls. The default is a double tap will turn off or on your music or your podcast, and also will answer or end a phone call. Without even listening, I would just assume that the microphone probably doesn't sound too good to the person on the other end. Most of these types of earphones with using Bluetooth, it just doesn't sound good. Anything else I'm missing here? They really want you to take a selfie. In terms of safety, no problems. These things are so short. If you recommend these, really have your patient during the molding process kind of get them as deep as they can into their ear canals. Absolutely no concerns about safety. And then fit, yeah, maybe if I did a moving jaw, maybe if I pushed them in even harder, it might have helped. But fit is not mind-blowing, I would say. But it might not be a bad idea for somebody who's complaining about the fit to just give them a try, because there might not be a better option out there, and they're not that expensive, and they're totally safe. We did have one of our other colleagues test this out. She has very notoriously difficult to fit ear canals, and we'll report back on what her experience was like. But yeah, I hear the plane right now going overhead, and I'm hearing it much more loudly in my right ear than my left ear. There's no active noise cancellation. I have a feeling they're not going to do that well in an airplane, or I'm going to have to crank the volume up pretty high. Initially, these earphones are quite loud. If you have an iPhone, definitely use your built-in dosimeter app to help you figure out if you're listening too loudly. Sound quality is really nice, and the EQ settings are good. It's easy to operate the EQ. They have a funky smell, but customer service told me that's totally normal and it'll go away in a few days. I was curious to know what exactly the EQ was doing since it didn't show us decibels. So I brought the Fits into the VeriFit 2 and I just did some live speech mapping. The green line is the UE signature curve. The pink line is when I chose bright as the EQ setting, and really it's just bumping up the highs a little bit. The blue line is when I hit loudness, and you see about a 5 decibel increase over the entire frequency spectrum. Interestingly, the orange line is when I hit customize, and I brought the treble slider all the way up, and it resulted in a 4 to 10 dB reduction in bass and mids. It didn't actually bring up the highs. So just some information about what the equalizer settings are doing. Now you're going to hear a simulation of what a few of the EQ settings sound like when you're listening to music. I heard back from our colleague, the ones with difficult to fit, very small ear canals, petite ear canals, and she said that they're actually pretty impressive, that she definitely finds it very difficult and challenging to get earphones to fit, and she said she liked her fit, she liked the sound quality, she was very active in her yard testing them out. Her only complaint was the sound quality of phone and video calls, but again, I sound like a broken record. That is to be expected when we're using Bluetooth. Finally, even though my seal, and especially my right ear, wasn't perfect, they did pass my own fit test. The right one. The right one fell out. Not a surprise based off of what I said before, but took some serious head banging, head shaking to do that.